Larkin tied for the team lead in goals and second in points, and among NHL rookies, second in goals and third in points. 2 points behind Arizona's outstanding freshman Max Domi, whose first career hat trick Tuesday gave him 13 goals and 31 points, and with teammate Anthony Duclair, plenty of first-year stars to watch tonight. Arizona's won 4 straight. One of the most surprising stories this NHL season. Red Wings finish up a 6-game road trip, looking to head home tonight with a 5th win. Hello again, everyone. Chris Osgood in just a moment as we welcome you to Glendale. The Red Wings once again tonight going with 6 defensemen and 12 forwards. That means Alexei Marchenko will be a healthy scratch, but it won't be too long before he's back in. He's been really good, just a numbers game. Joakim Andersson will come in for the Red Wings as the 12th forward on the 4th line. Close enough to play tonight because he's between the benches is Chris Osgood for a different perspective. Chris.
Back in the saddle down here. I'm fired up about it. I haven't been down here for a while since actually I played. Maiden voyage down by the bench. I look forward to it. I'm excited.
Well, maybe you'll have to make a good save just to protect yourself tonight. Darren Helm played a lot of minutes against the Los Angeles Kings the other night. Over 18, but ice time well deserved.
You know, playing on the second line with Datsuk and Tatar, he's been really good. I thought he was skating very well last game. The old Helm was back, so to speak. Listen, he was all over the ice drawing penalties early, and he was an important player in this game against a real physical LA Kings team. This to me was a Darren Helm that I play with. He was initiative, he was assertive all game long, and some nice plays also adding in offensively here. A nice shot with assists. He had 2 assists in this hockey, but I thought he was the pace setter for this Red Wing team in the first period. Now when you're playing the 6th game on the road in a row, the last game of road trip, you're going to need a Darren Helm to come up big, get some points to the Red Wings. Datsuk, Zetterberg can't do it themselves. Look for Helm to have a big night here tonight in Arizona.
Well, the new All-Star format is 3-on-3 that we will see in Nashville at month's end. The captain for the Pacific Division is the Arizona Coyotes' John Scott, who right now is in the American Hockey League. He will be called up at some point and then head to Nashville. That may be surprising, but what's even more surprising is that Oliver Ekman-Larsson, the great defenseman for Arizona, we won't get to see him play in Nashville.
Absolutely. You're talking about Carlson in Ottawa, Yossi in Nashville. This guy is better. This guy is one of the best defensemen, if not the best, in the National Hockey League. He plays in Arizona. That's why a lot of people haven't heard about him. But really, their power play, 13 for 36 last 9 games, 36%. Why? He runs the power play. This guy has Nick Lindstrom capabilities. He's young, very good defensively as well. This is an under-the-radar type player because of where he plays, but not in stature. This guy is one of the best defensemen in the National Hockey League. The Red Wings are going to have to make sure where he is at all times tonight.
Well, the Red Wings, Chris, won the first meeting at Joe Louis Arena 5-1, and Arizona captain Shane Doan did not play that night. Shane Doan recently had a big goal to become the franchise all-time leading goal scorer, and he became number 1 with a goal in Winnipeg, passing the former great franchise leader and former Jet, Dale Hawerchuk.
Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Ram Trucks, Guts, Glory, Ram. By Myers. Save big with M-Perks from Myers. Sign up at mperks.com. And by Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience sports.
Red Wings and Coyotes getting set to tangle here in Glendale, Arizona. And here's a reminder to tune in to Red Wings Live immediately following the game, where we will announce the Red Wings player of the game in this tilt here tonight as the Red Wings try to make it 5 of 6 on this road trip west. And here's a reminder to tune in for the Red Wings player of the game. It's presented by McDonald's, where you can get your breakfast favorites. They are served all day long, and we will announce the winner on the postgame show of Red Wings Live, as I've already mentioned. But for the call of all the action in tonight's game, let's take you upstairs right now where Ken Daniels is on the call, and Chris Osgood is ice level between the benches. Should be interesting. Kenny, it's all yours. Take it away.
Thank you, Trevor. Hello again, everybody. The Arizona Coyotes were down 3-1 to Edmonton, their last game a couple of nights ago, and won in overtime. A couple of power play goals by Max Domi in the third tied it. Their 4th consecutive win as the Red Wings had a 4-game winning streak stopped in Los Angeles. Our Southeast Michigan Ford dealer starting goaltenders, both on 4-game winning streaks. Peter Mrazek, last week's 2nd star in the NHL, his 6th start the past 7. And the surprise, of their team first half surprise is Louis Domingue, the 6'3" netminder who was the odd man out at the end of training camp, and third in line really in mid-December when Mike Smith had abdominal surgery. But all this goaltender has done is won 4 straight, 7th consecutive start, and he's 7-0-2 his past 9 starts. He's never faced the Red Wings. He hasn't faced many. He hasn't been around long enough. But he's been great for this Arizona team. Glad you're up late with us tonight. And we'll be, by the time this one ends, to take this game in because this Arizona Coyotes team has been really good. And the Red Wings have been terrific themselves on this 6-game road trip that finishes up here tonight. Chris Osgood between the benches as Henrik Zetterberg brings it to center ice and into the Arizona zone. Up there along with Abdelkader and Nyquist to start is Tobias Rieder, number 8, Antoine Vermette, number 50, and Mikkel Boedker, number 89, out there for Arizona as the Red Wings get their first change. Backpedaling in is DeKeyser, got a piece of that, slipped in behind and tapped away there by Mrazek. Boedker moved it back to the blue line, and a shot in by Stone was stopped. And watch out for this Arizona defense. Second most goals in the National Hockey League for the Blue Line Brigade, besides the Nashville Predators. Setting up there is DeKeyser as Tatar circles to the right. Datsyuk in the middle. He went up the left wing side, but nowhere near Darren Helm and Chris Osgood. We have an icing coming up against the Red Wings.
Well, Jeff Blashill talking to him. If anything's changed since the Arizona Coyotes were in Detroit losing 5-1 as they've picked up their team speed. This team is very quick, and their record has been very good of late. 22 wins on the year, the same as the Red Wings. So the Red Wings have to figure out a way to deal with the speed of Arizona. How do you do that? Get out of your end quick first passes, skate through your zone, get pucks deep, and attack that Arizona defense.
And right off the face-off, Arizona had control, but the shot is blocked, and that could tell the story tonight. The Coyotes are the best face-off team in the National Hockey League. That went off Domingue's stick and deflected wide. They've got between Boyd Gordon, Martin Hansel, Antoine Vermette, they're really strong in the face-off, and when their defense can get the puck back and start up, that's how they get some offense. Here they'll have to win a defensive zone face-off where Boyd Gordon, if he's not out there, could be trouble. And there's a look at Dave Tippett, the 7th season, the longest tenured in franchise history. And this season became the 9th active coach to 500 wins.
Yeah, Ken, this guy always has this team in contention, team that nobody expects to do anything. This year is no different. Coyotes overachieving, playing good hockey.
In on that face-off was Richards against Richardson. Brad Richards and Brad Richardson as the puck came into the crease. And Domingue able to get a hold of that, and often when he'll make a save in the game, you'll hear the fans chant Lou.
And the puck seems to follow Larkin around each and every game. Once again, you got to like how he takes to the net there, throws puck in traffic. You never know who it's going to go off of. Hit Shea and skate. Opportunity to makes a nice save, keeping that right leg pad against the net. And once again, the big goalie, Red Wings are going to have to deal with. They're going to have to get some traffic, but I like that idea. Throwing pucks in the big goaltender's feet, making him work early.
And he is big at 6'3". Louis Domingue, a 5th-round pick in 2010 of the Coyotes, who basically pleaded with Don Maloney to give him a job after he was going to head to Europe to play, and then had second thoughts about it. And the Arizona GM relented and said, okay, try to win a job, and showed work ethic well enough to at least get the call up, and then it's his opportunity, and he's made the most of it. That shot hit a body and went wide. Picking it up is Max Domi. He was pressured immediately and lost it. They tried to center one for Brad Richards, and Domi, who's a great skater, and Paul Kariya type style, shoots one into the Red Wing zone and goes after it in there along with DeKeyser. Max Domi ties him up, and DeKeyser comes away with the puck. Off Brad Richards' stick, a sign for the Red Wings to change as Larkin heads down ice. Forces Klaus Dahlback to play it. And then it's tipped down ice by Anthony Duclair. Also a rookie. He and Domi have been great, as Larkin's been for the Red Wings. Mike Green sets up on defense with Brendan Smith. Good pass ahead for Tomas Jurko. That goes off the stick of Joachim Anderson, who Domingue played it out to center ice, and a good play. It wound up going right to Kyle Chipchura. And he'll send one into the Red Wing zone. Chipchura and Brendan Smith had a fight in the first meeting of the season that the Red Wings won 5-1. That's tip past Nicholas Grossman. Grossman, number 2 back there, takes Glendening into the boards. Arizona with some room now to get at the center ice.
And through center it goes to Michael Stone, the brother of Calder finalist Mark, who plays for the Ottawa Senators. Zetterberg gets it in. Cleared up the near boards. Played in behind here for Abdelkader. Back to the line. Eriksson gets one into Zetterberg. Went to leave it for Jonathan Eriksson, who gets checked there by Connor Murphy, number 5. Back to the point. Shot through and tipped up over top. Abdelkader sent one back in front. And the Coyotes will get to that loose puck. Knocked down by Nyquist. Bottker trying to get through. Stays with it. The long reach of Eriksson prevented him from cutting toward the goal. Stone held it in. As they battle in the corner behind the net, Cal Bottker chased Eriksson, who was able to move one for Abdelkader. For Zetterberg, Red Wings want to change, and it'll be flipped down ice.
Yeah, Ken, the Red Wings are sharp here early in this game. Really nice passing out of their zone. That first pass has really been crisp. Red Wings look good here in the first 4 minutes of this hockey game.
Tapped in back of the net for Doan. The Arizona captain, his familiar number 19, now in his 20th NHL season. And Doan, their leading goal scorer, with 15 on the year. Pavel Datsyuk brings it in. Wrist shot. Stopped by Domingue. And it's up and out of play. Here's a look at Shane Doan, 7th overall pick in 95. You've faced him quite a few times in your career, Chris.
Yeah, great shot. This guy's a gamer night in and night out. Just as people are trying to write him off, thinking his career might be on the downswing, what does he do? Comes out and scores 15 goals this year. This guy's the face of this franchise, and every year he's the guy that leads this team unsuspectingly into the playoffs or close to it. So a good leader on and off the ice here for this team.
The Red Wings got that face-off back, and pretty cool that he did pass Dale Hawerchuk in goals. He's got .383 now for his career, and he passed Dale doing it in Winnipeg, where Hawerchuk was so good for so long. You know the history in the franchise in Winnipeg and now Arizona. Larkin sent one off a skate. Sheahan went to find it. Max Domi brings it ahead. Domi, number 16, in honor of a fellow diabetic, Bob Clark.
Oh, Ken, you're right, Domi. He's certainly fast. He's quick. He's got his dad's feistiness and competitiveness, but with more skill.
Yeah, he's got the hands that his dad didn't have necessarily for scoring.
But great competitor.
Yep.
Tenacious, and he's got that, but he's got the skill, and that makes for a great combination.
And coming off a hat trick last game, I mentioned 2 in the third, including the tying goal that Arizona then beat Edmonton in overtime after being down 3-1. They cough up the puck here. It was the first hat trick of Max Domi's career in his rookie season. Ty never had one for all the years he played. May have had 3 fights in a game, though. Tipped in front of the net. Domingue searching for it. And the Coyotes will come away with it. Good back pressure there by the Red Wings to break up that rush down ice by Chipchura. Carrying through is Victor Tikhonov, number 9 for Arizona, whose idol is Pavel Datsyuk, and always a thrill for Victor Tikhonov to play against Pavel Datsyuk. He's a legend, he says, and indeed, yes, he is. Victor Tikhonov's grandfather, by the same name, the legendary coach of the former Soviet national team, and he was a hard guy. You wouldn't have liked playing for him, Chris.
No, not at all. Was that year-round hockey, Ken, training?
Pretty much.
And
never a day off.
What some teams, though. I think they changed the way hockey was played, especially for me. Great goaltending they had. Trechak really changed the way goalies played, dropping your knees, and so many great players in that hockey club.
Going back to get it is Brendan Smith. Smith skating well through center. A little too far for Abdelkader. Turning back with it, Zdeněk McCulloch, the veteran defenseman. With a pass up the boards that Smith detected, but it made its way through to Doan, who moved it quickly, and a shot was stopped off Jordan Martinook, the rookie. Datsyuk back, his pass was knocked down. Turning at center, Brad Richardson. Richardson brings it in, and a nice diving play to recover there by Smith. Back comes Helm. He's got help. Red Wings with numbers. Here's Datsyuk. Wrist shot blocked. Datsyuk pulled it back in, but was checked at the line, and staying with it is Doan.
Arizona in the midst of a change. Doan just dumped it in. Erickson nearly lost it. Played it off the boards back of the goal. Move quickly here for Helm. Helm played just over 18 minutes in Los Angeles. Had a couple of assists. A nice night in shots leading the Red Wings. Checked at center. The two rookies there as Larkin was all over Anthony Duclair. So this game's still goalless. We're at Gila River Arena. Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit Plus. Max Domi went 12th overall in 2013. Dylan Larkin, a year later, went 15th. Your local Toyota dealers brings you the report card on the great rookies in this game tonight. You know what Larkin's done this year. Max Domi has been outstanding. Top 3 in rookie points, those 2. And then there's Anthony Duclair, who's right there in the top 5 for the Arizona Coyotes as well. And Domi and Duclair, 25 goals, 55 points for the two. Only Chicago and Buffalo with more rookie points than Arizona. And Domi and Duclair were together at the World Junior Championship a year ago, won gold for Canada with Sam Reinhart of Buffalo. And you include Reinhart in the rookie mix this year, 74 points for those 3 players in 126 games. Domi, Duclair, and Reinhart. The National Hockey League is a young man's game now, Chris, and the rookies we're seeing better than ever.
Ken, to sum that up, is these guys are franchise-changing players, and Duclair and Max Domi, where would this franchise be without those 2 players? One via trade, the other through the draft. And great future here in Arizona.
For sure, and they're playing in a pretty good division where they're set up pretty well, a division that they've had great success against, and for the most part, the division has not had great success overall. But Arizona has been, do you not think, the biggest surprise early on this year?
Absolutely, and the most impressive thing about all those young players is you know, they do have the points, but the points come with playing the game the right way. Each one of those players is a plus player in a big way. Duclair's +6, but still at a young age, that's incredible. If you play the game the right way, the points will come. They have the talent, but they also have the intelligence.
Knocked down here by Green, a shot, and that went wide. Moving in, Brendan Smith put it back into the corner. The Red Wings' 4th line out there. Yurko with Glendening and Joachim Anderson. The Red Wings going back to 12 forwards and 6 defensemen. They went with 11 and 7 in Los Angeles. Kept in here by Green. No, he didn't, they say. And what do you think, Chris, about the Red Wings going back to 12 and 6 rather than 7? Was it just that they were playing a bigger team in LA in Quincy's first game back?
Oh, Jeff Blashill, it's just a matter of the coaching staff thinking they can get more flow, more continuity out of having 6 defensemen, 7. Some guys didn't get the amount of ice maybe they would have liked. They didn't have the continuity, didn't have the flow in their game that you usually have to go back for 6. Wow, it's tough to take out Marchenko, though. He's played so well. Brendan Smith played well as well. Tough decision for Coach Blashill, and we know how much he's liked Marchenko's game this season.
Yeah, and even when Marchenko's, you know, they want to put him back in, who do you take out? The defense has been pretty good. Puck is at center, and it bounces to the right of Mrazek, who will play it. Kronwall was bouncing on him, so didn't get a good clear. And then knocked down by Nyquist on bunker speed back to the point for Connor Murphy. Murphy, the 20th overall pick in 2011, moved it up the left wing boards. A rink-wide pass ahead for Bodker. Bodker with room. Bodker's in. Saved by Mrazek, who came way out to cut down that Mikkel Bodker attempt. Bodker with 12 goals and 32 points, number 89 for Arizona. Tied for the team lead in points with Oliver Ekman-Larsson, the man that Chris Osgood spoke of in our open, the great defenseman.
Love Mrazek's game. Great awareness. Bodker drops his head. Mrazek takes a step or 2 out of the net. By the time he looks up, Mrazek's all over him. Great pad save.
Long stretch pass tipped through by Helm. Datsuk on the wing, beaten to the puck there by Brad Richardson. He's playing with his 4th NHL team. Richardson previously with Vancouver, LA, and Colorado. Turning with it is Martinuk. Slipped it back to the line. Good keep in here for Stone. Shot to the goal, hit a stick and wide. Nifty little play there to knock one back by Datsuk for Brendan Smith. Smith on the wing for Tatar. Tatar has goals in consecutive games and 14 on the season. Chance here for Datsuk, goal post. He rang the iron. Doan played it back, and there are plenty of Red Wings supporters here at Gila River Arena here tonight. Red Wings get a goal here. It may sound like the joke. Puck is at center. Larkin, a feed through. Richards right in. Pass back, but it was blocked. He had Shane in the slot, but never got to him. Shane back to recover and tipped it back and moved by DeKeyser for Quincy. DeKeyser slowly to center. Off a Arizona stick, bouncing down from McCulloch. Lead pass tipped out of the air by Declaire. Came right back to him again. Anthony Declaire, number 10, got it back to the line. Good move there by Murphy to keep it inside Red Wing territory. Point shot by Ekman Larsson, stopped by Mrazek. Rebound out front, pinball back, still loose. Sheahan all over Declaire. Declaire moved it back to the line. Ekman Larsson walked the line, and that's just tipped wide.
Oh, Ken, he's got a knack just for getting pucks through. I can't even see Mrazek to the net each time Ekman Larsson gets it through Lindstrom-like.
I was going to say just what you said. It was in Lidstrom-like fashion, although I really hate to compare anyone to Lidstrom.
You can't, but there's certain guys that can just get pucks through each and every time, and he seems to be one of those players.
He's got 12 goals and 32 points. He had a career-high 4-point night in the comeback win over Edmonton. Did all over Ekman Larsson.
And that was kind of the same goal against Edmonton. Yes, it was 4-on-3, but he placed that in a perfect spot for the game winner.
Talk about game winners. He's got 22 of them since 09-10. That leads all NHL defensemen. And his team leading 6th game-winning goal this season. Think about that. 22 game-winning goals since the 09-10 season. Best among all NHL blue liners, and you hardly hear about him. Save made by Mrazek. Puck loose in front. Backhanded Mrazek. Another save and another one as Tobias Rieder was looking for.
Yeah, that's what Peter Mrazek has really cleaned up his game this season. Really poised. Doesn't move a lot. Making big save after big save. Good job by the young goaltender.
Nicholas Grossman back to get it. Came over from Philadelphia with Chris Pronger's contract for Sam Gagner and a couple of 4th-round picks. Stone back to get it in his 5th season for Ekman Larsson. Ekman Larsson had it knocked off his stick, and then the play goes offside. And a goalless first period, and a big reason why. Peter Mrazek with some stellar stops. We're back in a moment on Fox Sports Detroit Plus. Welcome back to Gila River Arena as Chris Osgood between the benches and a neat perspective for you, Chris.
Absolutely. Completely different than from the press box. The speed of the game is unreal, but I'm noticing it's tough to get pucks through, man. There's some big guys of massive humanity in front of that. I can't even see Peter Mrazek, let alone the net sometimes when these pucks are coming through. And just the crispness of the game. The passing is unbelievable. Stick to stick, tape to tape, and the speed after the zone. Just great. Very exciting down here.
Well, and you make sure that Fox Sports Arizona's Tyson Nash doesn't hit you from behind.
I told him I better look out because when I played with him in St. Louis for a couple of years, he never blocked any shots, so I know I'm by myself back there.
Well, don't block one if it's going for him, then you can get even.
And there's not much protection down here either. The glass is out on the Arizona Coyotes side, so got to be alert.
Yep, just like you're playing. Long pass intended for Bottker. Centered out front, and Mrazek's got it.
Now here you see a little bit of Coyote speed on display, beating out an icing. Puck comes out front. Danny DeKeyser, intelligent player, stays put right in the slot. He knows this is coming back here off Mrazek's stick. DeKeyser with a nice block here. Little old school 80s goaltending, knee down, skate up, hits him in the thigh. DeKeyser with a very intelligent block there, but there you saw the Arizona Coyotes speed on display, beating out that icing and creating a scoring opportunity.
Tobias Rieder, number 8 for Arizona, has been terrific. 10 goals, 26 points, a former 4th-round pick of Edmonton. And he's been a really reliable player for Dave Tippett. Puck at center as Sheahan's out there with Larkin and Brad Richards. Domi, Declaire, and Martin Hansel, the forward line for Arizona. Larkin dropped it back. Brad Richards went for a pass, didn't get through. It hit Hansel. Larkin came back to break it up. Knocked off Hansel's stick, and persistence gets it into Detroit territory. Both teams will go for a change here. Kronwall sets up. Yurko goes and gets it. Yurko tries to cut in. It's knocked off his stick, taken by Martinek for Doan. Doan gets it down ice. Doan, who's passed Dale Hawerchuk for the goal lead. 10 points to pass Hawerchuk for the franchise lead in points. A high rising shot from Yurko over top of the left-hand blocker of Domingue. Any different, Chris, as a shooter going against a goaltender who catches with the right hand?
A little bit for sure. You know, lefties like to go mostly stick side and righties glove side. And this guy's a big kid. Just watching him from down here, he takes up a ton of the net, stands up well. He's fought through traffic a few times, but in the end, when guys are coming down, I think there's maybe in a shootout in the game, there's a little bit too much pressure, not enough time. They're just usually going for their one or two spots where they like to shoot.
Picked up here by Murphy. Mishandled at center by Boyd Gordon. And as the Red Wings regroup to complete a change, it goes over Datsuk's stick. Whoa. Wow. Well, they'll call an icing, and the Red Wing fans here in Glendale say, huh? Purchase a $67 fan pack to see the Wings-Panthers match up Monday, February 8th. You'll get 2 tickets, 2 food vouchers, and 2 soft drinks starting at just $67. To get your fan pack tickets, go to DetroitRedWings.com. And as we've seen throughout this road trip, the Red Wings traveling well once again.
But tonight's the biggest night, though. I would think 80% of the people in this building right now are Red Wing fans.
I would think so, too.
I think it's going to be quite a roar when the Red Wings eventually score a goal here.
Datsuk to the line, didn't get out. Ekman Larsson held it in. Reeder had it knocked off his stick. It popped out, but Datsuk's there to take it. 45 games against the Arizona Coyotes for Pavel Datsuk. 61 points. 1.36 points per game against Arizona. The best for Pavel against any team in the league that he's played that many games against. At least that many. Hansel. Taken away by Datsuk. Sends a bouncer in that Domingue will hold with Larkin coming at him, and there'll be a face-off to his left when we come back in a 0-0 first period on Fox Sports Detroit Plus.
Well, in a first period, a very good played first period. Oliver Ekman Larsson, Eric Zetterberg, the youngster versus the veteran. Well, the veteran gets the youngster this time. Ekman Larsson, a great young defenseman, tries to come in. Veteran forces him offside and says, hey, you got me, old man. But Zetterberg, very good defensive player. You're not going to get that past him. And Ekman Larsson, a little pat on the pads. Good play.
Off the draw. Quick shot. Wristed high there by Larkin. Went to go back to the point, but his fellow freshman, Duclair, got in the way of that to take it away. Long pass, Brad Richards. Hansel trying to cut him off. Near side into the slot, and a save made off Sheahan by Louis Domingue. Hansel in here to Duclair. Stopped by Mrazek. Comes right back to the line. Kept in by McCulloch. To the other side, Oliver Ekman Larsson going after it. That came quickly in on Mrazek, and then up and out of play face-off to his right. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Yeah, Ken, the Red Wings only allowing 6 shots up to this point. 11 shots, sorry, shot 11 to 6, but I think they've been really good defensively. Not a lot of grade A opportunities for Arizona. Mrazek's been tested a few times, but not as much in recent road games so far. I think the Red Wings defensively have been sharp.
Glendening comes out to the face-off circle. Saved by Mrazek, and then he gets pulled into as Yurko forced his man over top, as Reeder had let the shot go.
Yeah, and this seems to be Arizona's game plan. It's just throwing pucks on the net from bad angles, and the Red Wings are going to have to be strong in front of goaltender Mrazek. And Yurko does a nice job to bounce that Arizona player away from getting near that pending rebound. Like I said before, the shots are 12-6, but to me, Arizona hasn't had that many scoring chances, and Mrazek has been tested a few times, but not a lot where he's had to come up big, so Red Wings would like to get some more chances their own way.
Glendening, good face-off win there against Antoine Vermette. And Detroit has had the edge in face-offs tonight, now 8-4. So again, Arizona, the best face-off team in the league coming in. A broken stick there as it's shot in by Vermette. And the Red Wings will set up here. As Kronwall waits, gets it across, skate the stick for Eriksson, in for Glendening. Joakim Anderson going in after it along with Ekman Larsson. Martina covering there was Yurko. Into the middle, goes off the skate of Connor Murphy. He'll give chase with Brendan Smith. And we've got a stop and play here.
Yeah, Ken, it's going to be a high sticking penalty to the Red Wings. Richardson took a stick underneath the half shield from Yurko.
Detroit penalty number 26, 2 minutes in the corner.
Yurko kind of glares at the referee, but whenever you high stick somebody, especially underneath the visor, it becomes obvious. And this power play for Arizona has been very good of late, and here's the penalty right here. Just funny along the boards, Yurko just loses control of the stick a bit, and the ref's going to call that every time.
And interesting that the refs tonight, Evgeny Ramasko, the first Russian referee, number 39, Mike Lego, number 3. And when Mike made the call, he said in the corner. So he was actually telling us right where it was, which you don't often hear. So the Red Wings here are shorthanded. Arizona's power play, 12th in the league, 19.5%. Red Wing penalty killing, 22nd.
In last 9 games, this power play has been sizzling. Red Wings want to make sure they're aggressive. Don't sit back, allow them to make the plays they've been making in the last 9 games. And get pucks down, just like that. First opportunity, get it out of your zone. It's running at 36% in the last 9 games. So it's a job to win that draw and then get the puck down by the Red Wings.
Yeah, about 3 weeks ago, Arizona's power play was at 29th. 30 power play goals for is 5th most in the NHL for these Coyotes. However, they've given up 8 shorties. That's worst in the league. So that offsets some of the power play goals you get.
And you know what that tells me? Youth.
Yeah.
Got some young players out there that try a lot of plays, a lot of passes. Sometimes not the right ones. Sometimes they are.
Reeder looking for it. Doan, they have the one veteran guy out there, at least on this unit, with Bottker. To the corner, Vermette. Picked up here by Ekman Larsson. Bottker across Reeder. Takes the shot and deflected off a stick with 7 to go in the period. Fans yelling, shoot. Ekman Larsson does, send it wide. And the first period comes to a close. So the Coyotes double the shots. They'll have 36 seconds to go on a power play to start period number 2. Coming up in our Renner intermission report, Trevor takes on Dylan Larkin. Coming up. A goalless first period here from Arizona. Peter Mrazek, a stellar first period, stopped all 12 shots he faced, and he'll have to face an Arizona power play, which has 36 seconds left in it. Thomas Yurko in the box. Ken Daniels upstairs. Chris Osgood between the benches. So the Red Wings have Sheahan and Glendening to start. Arizona's power play, the past 9 games, 13 goals and 6 for 11. their past 4 victories, 36% in that time. They had 2 key power play goals in the third period here a couple of nights ago against Edmonton. Come back to tie and then win in overtime, and Max Domi had the tying goal. Brought in by Declaire. Taken out of the play is Sheahan in there to grab it. Then he inadvertently gave it away. Back to the line here to Bottker. Wrist shot. Blocked aside by Mrazek. Glendening reaching in for it. Coyotes win that puck battle. Then Sheahan on the intercept, able to knock it away. Spun back by Ekman-Larsson on a perfect 85-foot pass here to Max Domi. Domi threw it in the middle. Quick shot by Hansel. That stopped. Out of the box comes Tomas Jurko. And the Red Wings will be charged with icing just as the penalty expired. So the face-off back in the Detroit zone.
And that's really not that bad of a thing. You get the players you want out there. Jurko coming onto the ice after serving his 2-minute penalty. With the icing, they'll be able to get who they would like out there. Doan here at center going up against Glendening, but Mrazek probably his best save of the game there on a quick shot in the slot by Hansel.
Red Wings again get that face-off, and very good in the first period, winning 64% of the draws as Abdelkader goes down ice to get it. Tried to chop it in behind. Zetterberg tied up by Grossman. Zetterberg still with it. Lifted it toward the goal, but was knocked down before it got there by Brad Richardson. Zetterberg knocked it out of the air right in front of the Red Wing bench, stays with it with help from Abdelkader. Cross it goes, found its way here to Nyquist. Nyquist on the backhand, chopped at, back in front. Abdelkader jamming away, puck still loose. But Arizona will come away. But good tracking back there by Nyquist to prevent a Coyote attack. Abdelkader back in, puts on the brakes, looks for an open man to the line to Brendan Smith with a fake. Dropped it back, Green with a shot, and Louis Domingue saw that and he hangs on.
Abdelkader has a nice chance here. You got to like how he brings it each and every night. I like Nyquist's game so far. You know, when you're not scoring, not struggling with it, you got to move your feet and skate. That's what Nyquist is doing. Takes this to the net, knowing that his lineman Abdelkader, this is where he makes a living, right in the blue. And each and every time he gets there, this creates opportunity. Nobody can come up with that puck. Zetterberg was close, but just wasn't there. But I really like Nyquist's game so far. He's been struggling to score goals, and how do you fix that? Well, you got to start playing the game the right way, and so far tonight, Nyquist has been doing that.
Well, you may remember the first meeting this season against Arizona in the 5-1 Red Wing victory. Nyquist scored from center ice on Mike Smith, who was chased down 3-0.
With Nyquist, you're not going to automatically just...
Loose puck there, backhand save by Domingue. As Tatar had a great opportunity right off the draw to the line for Eriksson, and Domingue blocked it. That continued, Chris.
Back to Nyquist, your game's automatically going to come back. You're going to start scoring goals right away, but if you play the right way, you eventually will. And right here, the Red Wings jump on this. Tatar. Red Wings have been quick in this game on loose pucks, and great chance. And I've been impressed with this young goaltender, 7-0-2 in his last 9, but even more impressive with .932 save percentage. And there he shows you why. He's been a great find. And a little bit of a surprise here for Arizona.
I would think so. And Mike Smith had abdominal surgery. And that's why Domingue had the opportunity. Anders Lindback is their other goaltender. But Domingue's been the better of the two since Smith went down. And he's kept these Coyotes very much in the playoff chase. Red Wings in the midst of a change. Chasing the puck goes Mikhail Bottker. Bottker down ice. Then pushed there by DeKeyser with help from Datsuk, who went down awkwardly. Tipped back his way by Tatar. Dahlback. Here's the reason that Drew Miller had a broken jaw. Domi in. That pass back didn't work. Richards was checked, and DeKeyser got it out to center. Tatar able to knock it down and getting into the Coyote end. Domingue moved it for Dahlback. Dahlback for Domi. Good pass here to Hansel. Hansel coming in. Good play back for Domi, and the shot just whistled wide.
And Ken, that's Domi's shot there. He likes to go high glove. If Mrazek's done any homework at all, he'll know that.
Carried and dropped back here for Sheahan. Off the boards. Smith had to contend with a pass that was in his feet. Brendan Smith carrying on. Circling the goal is number 2 counterpart Grossman, forcing him wide. Brendan Smith protecting the puck, then got checked by Declaire. Smith did well to get to the line to keep it in. Pinballed off a leg and goes for Domi. Max Domi. 13 goals for Domi. 31 points second in rookie points and second in rookie assists for number 16 on the Coyotes.
Yeah, kind of talking with my counterpart down here, Tyson Nash. Most impressed with Domi when he wasn't scoring. On 15 games, let a goal, but didn't change his demeanor, didn't change the way he played any night.
Anderson's shot went through the blue at the line here for Green. Gets taken to the boards by Gordon as it comes back to the point. Kept in. Kronwall's shot is up high, and that'll be held. $67 fan packs are available to see the Wings battle the Senators February 10th. You'll get 2 tickets, 2 food vouchers, and 2 soft drinks starting at just $67. For tickets, go to DetroitRedWings.com. Jonathan Ericsson back in a pairing for the most part once again with Nick Kronwall as DeKeyser's gone back with Kyle Quincy, who's playing in his 9th game. And again, somewhat of a surprise with Arizona leading the league in face-offs, and the Red Wings have had their way tonight and win another one right there. Ericsson, a broken stick. Nyquist turning with it on a backhand. Bounces back here to Kronwall. Back into the slot. Nyquist turning. Feeds to Zetterberg. Zetterberg tried to go in front. Boyd Gordon knocked it down. Tobias Rieder away with Vermette. Chip back here to Nyquist. Jonathan Ericsson with a pass. Zetterberg skate to stick to the middle. Zetterberg played one back, but Nyquist couldn't get it. Abdelkader helps out to the line for Ericsson. Off that broken stick, which was his. In for Nyquist. Nyquist coming out front with it. Paddled down by Domingue and then cleared down the ice.
I'm really impressed with Nyquist's compete level, and I really believe if he continues on this path, he's going to get rewarded here.
Turned over, Doan. Good pass across, back to the middle. Shot the score! Ekman Larsson. His 13th goal of the season.
Yeah, Kenner, he just kind of trailed in here on a broken play. Puck bounced around. Mrazek sets it up in the back. Green comes out, just loses control of the puck just enough. The veteran Doan grabs it, goes across. This becomes a 2-on-1. Smith does a nice job to delay just enough. Unfortunate bounce off of Datsuk, I believe, and Ekman Larsson, the smart, intelligent player that he is, he's just going to trail behind this 2-on-1 here. The Red Wings do a good job to collapse. Too far, hits Datsuk's skate. Unfortunate bounce right on Ekman Larsson's stick, and he jams it home. But what made that play is the intelligence of a great young defenseman to realize opportunity. 2-on-1 in front. He's just going to trail behind just enough, found that open space, the quiet zone, and the puck came to him. No mistake, into the open net.
Ekman Larsson, who had 23 goals last season, led all NHL defensemen. He's got his 13th this year. And Brent Burns, leading defenseman in the NHL with 18. So he's got a ways to go to catch him. But Ekman Larsson coming off a career-high 4-point night in the comeback win over Edmonton as the first goal here tonight. And a good play by Brad Richardson. And Shane Doan gets the other assist. So Arizona has the first goal in this game. They're on a 4-game winning streak and have won 8 of their past 11. They've gone 9-2-3 their past 14 games. Big collision in the corner, and the hit was put on by Datsuk. Carried through Martina. As the puck's knocked out of the air, goes after it with Brendan Smith. And knocked down high stick. So face-off coming up in the Red Wings zone. And mentioned Oliver Ekman Larsson with his 13th goal. And graphic evidence of Burns leading the way. And now another goal for the defense of this team, which gives them 29 on the season. Nashville leading the NHL with 32 from their blue line.
And Ken, to go along with that offense that he does possess, to me, the best defensive defenseman of any of those on that list.
Picked up here by DeKeyser. Domingue kicked that aside on a Sheahan shot from a sharp angle.
And just watching this game from ice level, looking at the Arizona Coyotes, first thing that comes to my mind, confidence. This is a real confident team. Constantly talking on the bench. They're excited. They're on a winning streak. The Red Wings are going to have to bring an A-plus game here to get a victory in Arizona.
This team is 12-6-2 in this building. Roll through, Mrazek the save, and just wide. Hansel in back of the net. Threw it to the line, but failing to get over was McCulloch. So Arizona will have to go back to take it. 6:40 having been played here in period number 2. Ken Daniels, Chris Osgood, Trevor Thompson, and our Fox Sports Detroit Plus crew with you. Glad you're with us tonight, wherever you're tuning in. Carried through here by Yurko. And Domingue taking no chances. He'll hold on to that. You're watching Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit Plus, presented by Bell.
Welcome back with the Coyotes leading your Red Wings 1-0 here. Nyquist. It's been solid this game. Love his compete level, his effort. You know, he's been challenged by Coach Jeff Blashill. Didn't play as much the last couple games. Hasn't scored a goal for 10 games. How do you start scoring? Play the right way. Nice board battle victories here by Nyquist. Takes this to the hole against that Coyotes. If he continues to play this way, doing little things right, hustling, winning 50-50 battles, winning those board battles, taking to the net, he's going to get rewarded.
Puck to the corner as Stone got there for the Coyotes. That went off the skate of Chipchura. He played with Anaheim and Montreal previously in his career. Chipchura looking for it again, in there to battle with Kronwall. It's in his skates. Came loose in front, and Anderson in a perfect spot, able to move one for Eriksson. Back for his countryman that was knocked away. Chipchura up there along with Victor Tikhonov. Tikhonov, a Coyotes first-round pick in 08, and then reclaimed off waivers a month ago from Chicago. Tikhonov has it. Back to the line. Grossman set it back in behind the net. Jonathan Eriksson there for Detroit with a long pass off the heel of the stick of Joachim Anderson. Comes to Tikhonov at center again. Tikhonov played that game of keep away at the Sochi Olympics with Pavel Datsyuk. Said for 4 minutes he had the puck maybe 5% of the time, sort of like Trevor Thompson when he went one-on-one with Pavel. Tikhonov couldn't do it either.
Trevor might have been no seconds.
It was, I think, 1.2.
And that was very good for him.
Yes, it was. Abdelkader had an attempt there in front. The corner for Dick Kaiser. Back for Nyquist. Nice little shake and bake there with a shot. That was blocked. Good feedback. Nyquist, Abdelkader back for him. He just missed it.
There's going to be a holding penalty. Arizona here on Nyquist.
Domingue going to the bench.
Vermette got that left arm high around Nyquist. Now the Red Wings.
Wow, it's about time the whistle went. Domingue's going, wait a minute here, and the Red Wings are bringing it up the ice.
I don't think that should have been blown down. And
well,
it's their mistake. And
this is the young Russian referee who worked some last year and now this year. So Evgeny Ramasko with a little miscommunication there on what's going on. Mike Lego over to help.
Arizona number 52 responsible for roughing.
Henrik should really send Pavel over to get the interpretation, don't you think?
that would really work well.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
and this just comes out of Nyquist's hard work in that right-hand corner.
Well, that would have, you know, wow, that's really confusing because Domingue was, so Domingue was already at the bench.
Yes, and absolutely, that's the goaltender's mistake, not the referee's. And
okay,
to me, as a former goalie, the referee saved him there. I mean, if it goes in the net, then what do you do? It's a goal that should count.
Well, that's why Jeff Blashill now wants to know. He's trying to get an explanation from Mike Lego.
Yeah, he just got an explanation. To me, though, that's on Arizona and their goaltender. I mean, they miscommunicated from the bench to the goaltender, thinking that the penalty was on the Red Wings when it was actually on Vermette.
So, after all that confusion, the Red Wings go to a Bell Tire power play now. That's 25th in the league, and no goals in 5 of their past 6. They need one here, not just to get even, but for confidence, right?
Again, they got to get this thing rolling.
Save there.
In the last 4 games here, the Red Wings have only scored 7 goals, and one of the reasons why is their power play has been 0 for 8, And out of those 8 power plays, I would say maybe 2 or 3 have looked potent, looked like they were dangerous, and the other ones have taken momentum away at times.
They liked some of their offensive zone time against Los Angeles, and remember, you remarked in the game they were moving the puck well at times.
I would say attack the net should be number 1 on the list. Even from the side, it's hard to get shots through from the point. These guys are so big, they're shot blockers, the goaltenders are big. Attack from the sides, then that's going to open up the points. It's kind of like throw underneath in football and then go for the long bomb. Red Wings got to attack the goal here.
That face-off was won back as Arizona able to clear it. Red Wings back in, and it's just onside. It was close at the line as Nyquist moves it back here to Zetterberg. Kronwall to Zetterberg again. For Kronwall to Datsuk. Backhand tipped off the high glass. Abdelkader checked immediately, and the Coyotes will get it down the ice.
See, Ken, that's a good thought, though. Both those chances, one on the right side, one on the left by Datsuk, didn't get through. But right away, the Arizona forwards dropped down. Kronwall was wide open up top, so that's going to become open for them.
Here's Datsuk. Kronwall. Cross to Zetterberg. And seeing it all the way, and you probably saw it from your angle that he saw it all the way, was Louis Domingue.
I'm impressed with his Domingue fighting through traffic and finding pucks. Abdelkader had a nice screen on this young goalie, and he just made this look easy and was 0 rebound given up. So far, he's showing us why he's 7-0-2 in his last 9 with a ridiculous save percentage of .932. And he's been great through traffic and great with his rebound control here early.
Sheehan and Hansel on the face-off. And down the ice it goes. Green force back of the net. Reeder tried to center out there along with Hansel. 35 to go in the penalty with Vermette in the box for the Coyotes. Sheehan with room. Green kicked it ahead. Reeder good coverage on Larkin, who then knocked him down, and Larkin's going to go to the box.
That was not too much of a slash or interference by Larkin there.
He felt he dived.
I think he's going off as well here, Ken.
Lips.
Both are going.
Okay. So Larkin was right.
71, Detroit. 2 minutes now.
And that's the absolute right call,
2
100%.
minutes unsportsmanlike.
There you go. One call from each official. Mike Lego had the unsportsmanlike, and Ramasco had the interference on Dylan Larkin.
And that's the right call there. Dylan Larkin, just a little bit of a cross-check across the arm. That's going down way too easy there, so both referees teamed up to make the right call there.
Could be looking at some fines here. Jordan Tutu just got fined for a dive he took against the Red Wings in the last meeting. Sometimes that takes a while, but Tutu got fined a couple of grand for embellishment, the dive. So back it goes to the line for Kronwall. Now to Zetterberg for Brendan Smith. Saved by Domingue. As the Red Wings continue here, man advantage, another 5 seconds, and that'll do it.
See, Ken, that's where I'd like to see Smith, or when Smith's not there, any Red Wing player, attack the net from that angle. It's not there at the point right away. Throw it in the feet of the goaltender, lower to the net, trying to create a rebound. If anything's going to happen, you're going to get it back, and your point will be open.
Datsuk in front to Abdelkader. Stopped at the line, Kronwall for Brendan Smith. Picked up here. Played around by Martinuk. Good hustle there by Datsuk. Then draped to the boards and knocked down to the ice by Grossman. Doan a second effort bringing it ahead. Datsuk being mauled down ice by Grossman. They break it up. Meantime, Vermette with a shot. Saved by Mrazek. Side of the goal, Doan back in front. Glendening brings it ahead. Glendening all alone as the Red Wings in the midst of a change. Murphy trying to contain Glendening. Now he gets some help. Turning back with it, Ekman Larsson, trying to escape the board check there of Helm. Quincy for the Red Wings. Across for Glendening. Domingue moved it smartly ahead for Doan.
Wow, there's a nice pass right through Yurko's skates on right onto Doan's tape.
Turning with it is Hansel. Martin Hansel checked by Glendening. Back to the point it comes. Ekman Larsson. Shot just off a body and wide. Mrazek tried to reach to grab it. He couldn't. Helm just jammed one off the boards.
And again, Louis Domingue out to play it with a perfect pass for Hansel. Drop for Ekman Larsson, and in it goes.
See, Ken, that's something the Red Wings wouldn't know with Domingue. They haven't probably seen enough of him to know he's a good puck handler. They're going to start to have to keep pucks away from this young goaltender who's doing a really good job of getting pucks out.
His first career appearance against Detroit. He did not play or was up with the Coyotes in the first meeting, a 5-1 Red Wing victory. A game that Mike Smith was chased at the Joe.
Again, there'll be scouting reports on him from some of the Red Wing scouts, but I'm sure who are all here this week for their meetings, by the way. They all met here today. They're all at the game. They do a great job finding players for the Red Wings organization. But they'll read scouting reports, but it's not until you actually play against them and you realize, hey, this young kid can play the puck, so the Red Wings got to keep these dump-ins away from him.
Brad Richards a shot in Domingue. Yes, and not only are all the Red Wing scouts here for their meetings, Jim Nill and the Dallas Stars staff here as well. So Jim Nill back with Kenny Holland at least for tonight. Well, a little bit of a respite with a couple of days between games for Jeff Blashill and his team. And Jeff and the coaches, thanks to Tony Granato, went and shagged some fly balls and took batting practice at the White Sox practice facility a couple of days ago. And 6 of the Red Wings went to an outdoor center with trails and rifles like the Old West, not quite reverent, but they had a good time, Chris.
It's all about team bonding when you get on a trip this long, and I'm going to talk to Tony Granato after this game, actually. Thanks for the invite. I would have loved him when he hit some balls and taken some batting practice, but it's always good when you get on a road trip like this. The guys bond on their off days. You can really see them coming together. And, you know, they're 4-1 on this trip, and the reason why? Tight group of guys.
Well, when we get near Lakeland, you'll just have to speak to Ken Holland, and they'll be heading over to the Tigers facility.
I would love to go to that Tigers fantasy camp as a catcher. That's one of the things I have to do. It's on my wish list.
You'd be a catcher for sure, right?
100% if I went to that. I heard it's a tough camp, though. They run a tight ship there.
Uh-oh. Curfew. Carried in front of the net. You'll be ignoring that, though, I'm sure.
I could miss that.
I would think so. Green battling with Smith. Smith now joining the rush. Brad Richards for Riley Sheahan. That shot was off target. Smith at the point. Blocked and whacked away by Victor Tikhonov. In center there for Chipchura. Gets it in. Coyotes in full change mode here. Sheahan able to tap it back. Green moved it for Smith. No one in particular. Just dumped one down ice. Back to get it, Oliver Ekman Larsson with the only goal of this game. His 13th of the season. Nyquist able to get it ahead to Zetterberg, but there's a penalty coming.
Yeah, Ken, this was the Arizona bench very vocal here on this play. Not too much of a delayed call, but Abdelkader's going to go off. Arizona power play when we come back.
Dave Tippett's team will be going to a power play. It'll be their 155th power play this season. That is most in the National Hockey League. 8 shorthanded goals allowed, most in the NHL. And strangely enough, neither Arizona nor Detroit has a shorthanded goal for. The only 2 teams in the league without one. Maybe Detroit's turn to get one here and break that goose egg and add to the Coyotes' woes while they're with the man advantage in the shorthanded one. Their second power play of this game. Max Domi for Hansel to Domi. Forced wide by Glendening. Domi gave him a chop. And out to center. At the line, picked up here by Larkin. Larkin staying with it. Domi had it knocked off his stick, came free here, and Dylan Larkin banks it off the kick plate and down the ice right to Domingue with a minute to go in the man advantage here for Arizona. Mikkel Botker, 12 goals in the season, 2 have come on the power play. Native of Denmark. Vermette to Tobias Rieder. Back for Botker.
Bottker, wrist shot, went wide of the goal. Jonathan Ericsson with a long reach, able to clear that out. As Reeder couldn't keep it in. Mentioned Reeder with 10 goals in the season. 12 of his past 15 going back to last year have come in this building. Mrazek, good puck handling. Netminder gets it down the ice.
Yeah, Ken, that was just a great read by Mrazek, noticing Arizona player had nowhere to go at that neutral zone. He was already almost behind the net by the time that puck was shot, jumped on top of it. Nice patient play, got the puck out.
Abdelkader standing in the box, waiting to get out. Larkin will clear it, and he'll be getting more and more penalty killing time, especially in the absence of Drew Miller. 28 games with Drew in the lineup. The Red Wing penalty killing was 85%. The 15 without him at 69%. So it's a big loss without number 20, and he'll need others, and Abdelkader when he's not in the box, and Larkin will get more time killing penalties. Smith's pass couldn't connect with Zetterberg, who had to go back to get it, so they'll try again. De Kaiser for Nyquist. Good feed to Abdelkader. Wrist shot. Punched right back out by Domingue and all the way to center. An intentional play. Quincy. Back it comes to Abdelkader. Taken to the boards by McCulloch. Martinook trying to catch Declaire in flight. Anthony Declaire with some good work at the line to get it in deep here for Martinook. Rookie to rookie down there for Arizona. Pavel Datsyuk able to get it through to Quincy in his second game back. Lead feed Hansel up with Declaire. Knocked away by Tatar, and a good play coming back. Or Declaire at an open net. Datsyuk forcing a spinning Ekman Larsson, then held him. And the four-time Lady Byng winner is going to be going to the box. This time Domingue Shore as the Red Wings touch. They'll be shorthanded.
Prior to this penalty, acrobatic save. This is a turnover in the neutral zone by the Red Wings. Ekman Larsson jumps in as across to Declaire. This gets knocked down by Tatar. Nice play by Tatar, but Mrazek acrobatic and just getting that leg pad on this. Sorry, Hansel across, and Tatar does everything he's asked. Come back hard towards your goalie to protect that house area for the good chance to knock it down, and Mrazek a great save. And just after, Datsyuk and Ekman Larsson, they've been battling all night long here, and battle continued, and Datsyuk with a little bit of a hook on Ekman Larsson. Third power play for Arizona.
And Vermette with Doan and Reeder, Ekman Larsson and Bottker. Again, the Red Wings off the face-off. Great job. And down the ice by Brendan Smith.
Ken, you're right. They've been winning more draws in Arizona, but they've been winning the important ones. Penalty kill, they're winning that first face-off each and every time. In the offensive zone, they've been good as well.
And the Red Wings, again, 14th coming in face-offs. The Coyotes, #1 in the league. Abdelkader back to Smith, off Bottker's stick and down the ice with 1:40 to go in period 2.
Now, if they can kill this off, the Red Wings, another momentum change. Kill off 2 Arizona penalties in a row. Yeah, you're down 1-0, but you got some momentum not only for the end of this period, but going into the third.
Vermette, high rising shot. Ekman Larsson on his backhand, able to make the play through the middle and got it back.
Okay, you know what's good about these penalties, if there is ever anything good about taking a penalty, late in the period.
Loose in front of the net, they score! Reeder!
And Reeder jams this home after a long scramble in front of the Red Wings goal. Really here, Dolan's right in front of the Red Wings, battling to try and find where that is, and this is just thrown in. I believe it hits Smith's stick and goes into the net. But Dolan all over this, tough to move him. He's a big body in there, and then Reeder comes in afterwards, and Smith can't move. He's pushed up against the crossbar by Dolan. This is just thrown into the paint and goes off Smith and in, but boy, if anything, Ken, you can fault the Red Wings there, if any, is got to knock down some bodies, and they were just unable to do that and lost that 50-50 battle in front of their net.
We'll see if that went off Doan's skate or it's Reeder's goal. And if it's Doan's, it'll be his team-leading 16th. Bottker with the shot.
And just nobody can knock him down. Or yes, and it hits Doan's skate and goes into the net. I think maybe Coach Blashill was looking to see if there's some goaltender interference by Doan there, but the referees deemed right away there wasn't. 2-0 lead Arizona.
So Doan's got his team-leading 16th. And his 8th power play goal of the 16 that he has scored this season. Leads the Coyotes in both categories. So a 2-0 lead here in the final minute of period number 2, knocked down by Datsyuk, who sends it ahead to Abdelkader. Datsyuk catching up, gives him the puck to Zetterberg. Zetterberg forced wide, chopped at there by Richardson. Brad Richardson staying with him. Zetterberg with good effort to keep control. Coming in from the point, but it was blocked off Kronwall's stick. Eriksson to Datsyuk. What a Datsyukian deke that was. But Abdelkader couldn't get a clear shot. 2 to go in the period, which now is concluded. Boy, Pavel Datsyuk has some complaints there. But a nice setup to Justin Abdelkader in front.
And this is just a battle in front. This looks more like a rugby match than a hockey game. Street hockey style. The Red Wings can't find this. This is underneath a mass of humanity in front of the Arizona goal, and Datsyuk not happy. I mean, he has been held, hooked, and tackled all that second period, and he ends up getting the only penalty, unfortunately.
In our MGM Grand Detroit second intermission, Chris Osgood and Darren Elliott with their version of hockey lingo. All coming up. It's 2-0 Coyotes after 2.
With 40 minutes in the books, here are the stats after 2 periods. The Red Wings still being outshot by the Coyotes, and the Coyotes getting the advantage on the specialty teams as well, scoring once on the power play so far tonight. Red Wings do have the advantage in the face-off circle, and they're hitting a little more than the Coyotes so far tonight, but they're trailing on the scoreboard 2-0 after 2, so they're looking for a couple of goals here in the third to even things up. Now let's have a look at the upcoming schedule for the Red Wings. It's brought to you by Tim Hortons, and after this, the Red Wings return home for 2 games. They'll face the Flyers and the Blues before hitting the road one more time to take on Buffalo. Then the Anaheim Ducks are back at Joe Louis Arena. And then it's the New York Islanders in the last game before the All-Star break. That's a look at your upcoming schedule. Now for a look at the third period, which is upcoming. Let's send you up to the booth where Ken Daniels is going to take over from here. Kenny.
Thank you, Trevor. As the Red Wings play here tonight, the only other Atlantic Division team playing this evening was the Montreal Canadiens. And the Canadiens don't gain any ground because they lost their game 2-1 at home to Chicago. Congrats to Joel Quenneville, passing Al Arbour. Second all-time behind the great Scotty Bowman. And what a career Joel Quenneville has had, the second winning as coach. So the Red Wings, if they can come here in the third, Chris Osgood in between the benches, can pick up some ground on Montreal and gain some ground on first place Florida.
Absolutely. I think what's going to take for the Red Wings, they got to start getting some shots on net. That's quality chances as well. If they get a power play, which they should, power plays are 3-1 in favor of Arizona right now. When they do get an opportunity, though, let's not sit on the outside. Let's attack the net. Get pucks there with traffic. Maybe it might open up something else. Get a power play goal. They're in desperate need of one.
Datsyuk starts with Zetterberg on the left and Abdelkader on the right. So Jeff Blashill switching things up here. Although they were out there for a bit at the end of the period and a shift earlier, but the start here. As it's back of the net, Eriksson around it goes for Zetterberg. Kronwall moves one for Jonathan Eriksson, ahead for Abdelkader. Up there against Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Played off the glass and up and out of play by Louis Domingue.
Pavel Datsyuk's going to have to find some skating room here. I mean, they've had the bear hug on him, the Russian bear here through 2 periods. Ekman Larsson all over him, as well as the rest of the Arizona Coyotes. And why wouldn't you be? He's one of the best players in the world, but becoming frustrated. Maybe that has something to do with the former Lady Byng winner taking one of his few penalty takes in a season, but he's going to have to find some time and space out there. Arizona doing a good job to take that away from Pavel Datsyuk tonight.
Brendan Smith off the draw, shot in, and Louis Domingue will hold on. Louis Domingue was saying that Jeff Hackett was the first goalie he followed. He saw him in a Montreal Canadiens magazine as a kid, and Jeff Hackett wound up being what he wanted to be, a goaltender. As Larkin comes in front of the net, jamming in on Domingue, and a hold on.
Ken, for all the goalies that played in Montreal, that surprises me, taking nothing away from Jeff Hackett. He was a very good NHL goaltender, but goes to show you. Larkin cutting to the net here. Every single night this puck just follows this young man around. I love when he does this. Yurko does a nice job. He goes in there as well, just as Abdelkader does, so he's a quick study as well, learning from the veteran forward, does a good job. Arizona goaltender holds the fort once again.
Brendan Smith backhands it to center. Back to retrieve it is Grossman. Forced on the play by Larkin, who's out with Yurko and Brad Richards. As Brad Richardson, number 12, turns for Arizona. Chopped down ice by Stone. Arizona is 13-1-1 when leading after 2 periods of play.
You know, Ken, over the years, Coach Tippett, Arizona's head coach, he's been known for his good defensive play. Expect Arizona, they're going to get back in that defensive posture. Their wings are going to have to make sure they get pucks deep and get on it. Just move their feet, get pucks, retrieve pucks, and get to the net.
This is the want of so many players. You just saw Brad Richardson go down to his knees there to help win that draw. At some point, you know, the league's going to step in, and if it wasn't a hand pass, which is now a penalty, or playing the puck with your hand off a draw, pretty soon I think dropping to your knees, which a lot of teams are doing now, may become a bugaboo in the National Hockey League. Doan was up there on the forecheck, in back of the net. De Keyser trying to take it away from Doan. Domi, whose father Ty is here tonight to watch him play. Saw him score a big goal in Toronto at the Air Canada Centre when Ty was in attendance for Max's first appearance back where his dad used to play, Oakland University. Brings you this scouting report on the Coyotes and their play versus the Pacific Division. Again, it's a division that it isn't certainly not winnable, what with Los Angeles pretty much running away with it, but the rest of it is pretty much up for grabs in there, and Arizona sitting second, and because their record has been so good against the Pacific. Dahlback picked up here by Declaire. To an open wing, and back to retrieve it is Nyquist. Nick Kronwall. Nyquist goes off. Zetterberg comes on. Here's Datsyuk on the left wing. Datsyuk into the middle, and a quick shot just wide as Eriksson let a one-timer go. Kronwall at the line. Quick movement back from Datsyuk, and he missed.
That's a great defensive play by the young forward for Arizona, Declaire. The Red Wings, you see, nice move by Jeff Blashill here, putting Datsyuk and Zetterberg together. They got to figure out some way to get some momentum and get within a goal.
Here's Zetterberg trying to do just that, and Abdelkader ripped a shot that went high and wide. Then a bouncing puck tipped to center by Reeder. Bodker's got it. And what an acquisition. Reeder, who we thought originally got the goal but went off Doan's skate. Tobias Reeder was acquired from Edmonton in exchange for Cale Kessie, March of 2013. If you've never heard of Cale Kessie, he was just a draft pick of Arizona and a tough guy with hands that were huge, and he could fight. And with all the skilled players Edmonton had, they thought, you know what? We need a tough player to protect some of these guys. Never really played, not going to, and what an addition for that deal You think Edmonton might like Tobias Rieder right now? They probably would, but at the time they thought they had too many guys with that skill. But Dave Tippett will tell you he's great at both ends of the rink and really trusts him.
He's got 26 points this year. Great. And poor Edmonton, they've had that happen to them before Devin Dubnyk heads to Minnesota and all of a sudden becomes a Vezina candidate.
Right. Kept in at the line. Green with a good play to knock that puck down. Brad Richards with an attempt. Richards now with Yurko and Larkin. Larkin's got it. To Richards. Tipped back to the line. Green overskated. Tapped it back to Larkin, though. Larkin forced wide. And it goes off a leg and picked up by Chipchura. And he'll send it back into the Red Wing zone.
You just cannot force pucks into that area against this Arizona team. If one thing they're known for, Coach Tippett has them all collapsed down to that house area where the grade A opportunities come from. You got to shoot from the outside with traffic and get some rebounds.
Good intercept there by Martinook. Mrazek in the trapezoid. Kronwall, who was in his skates, as Doan moved up on the forecheck. Now he's got it. Green knocked his man down, and the back pass into the middle by Martinook was sent all the way back into the Arizona zone. Michael Stone for Grossman. Across center and in. Came all the way around for Zetterberg. Helm going off in a change, picked up here by Riley Sheahan. Sheahan goes after it again, a spin play. Sheahan then just lost it off his stick. Nice play, though, by Riley Sheahan, just couldn't finish. Long stretch pass. Knocked back of the goal here by DeKaiser. Around for Jonathan Eriksson. Pavel Datsyuk to center. Backhand looping shot went wide. Abdelkader moving in. Zetterberg's got it now. Zetterberg whirling back in the corner away from Vermette. Henrik Zetterberg turning. And again away from Vermette, and a pick throw in there by Abdelkader. Zetterberg turns back the other way now with Murphy defending. Connor Murphy then lost control of it, gave it away to Datsyuk. Datsyuk tried to feather one back for Quincy, but it was knocked down. Back in for Datsyuk, knocked off his stick. Abdelkader's got it. Abdelkader with 13 goals on the season, behind Larkin, and Tatar tied for the team lead with 14. Red Wings and the Minnesota Wild, the only two teams this season that have yet to be shut out. I'm trying to help it here, Chris.
Keep helping her. They got some momentum now, the Red Wings do. They just got to get pucks through. They're having troubles getting pucks to the net right now. Arizona's doing a good job of taking away that slot and blocking a ton of shots.
This will have enough to get Overzone icing charge against the Coyotes. A reminder, you can get your tickets for another exciting college hockey matchup. Michigan State, Michigan, duel in the D. February 5th at the Joe. Tickets start at $15. Little Caesars family 4-packs start at just $49. For tickets, go to DetroitRedWings.com/college hockey. Former Michigan State star, 18.9 seconds left, a national championship goal against Corey Schneider by Justin Abdelkader.
State's goalie was Laird, was it not? Who's spending some time in Toledo.
Yes.
Been called up to Grand Rapids a few times as well.
Puck beside the goal. And Domingue just held the post as they crashed in back of the goal. So it remains 2-0 Coyotes over the Red Wings on Fox Sports Detroit Plus. December of 2013, the alumni game, Comerica Park. Ty Domi, Max's dad on Chris Osgood, and a goal. Chris, was Mickey a minus on that?
I don't know what
Chris,
to
what do
say.
you think?
Awful is the first thing that comes to mind. Wow. And I've let in some bad goals in my career. Obviously some that I'd love to have back, but that would be one of them. Number one, after my career that I'd like to have back, and I've let a lot in after my career as well, but that would be number one.
That was a two-pad
Come on. If it was Max Domi, I'd say fine, but Ty Domi, not a chance. Come on.
He never scored on you like that, though, when it counted.
And when he came down, I underestimated him a bit. I just thought I could lay flat on the ice. He'd hit me for sure. Mick was a minus there.
I know.
Mick's a team guy. He didn't blame me one bit. He didn't even mention it. He might now, though.
He was nowhere near your zone, believe me.
Mick did have an unreal pass to Fedorov that
Didn't
game.
he?
Wow.
Oh,
Still has
nice.
the hands, Mick does.
Oh, yeah. Full mouth pass to Sergei. Tapped it in. Sergei said, I saw your eyes. Yep. That goes offside. And I know that game, the alumni game, you didn't mind giving up one to Lanny, though, did you?
No, I grew up watching Lanny McDonald play. The great Calgary Flame, 500 goal scorer, plus in this National Hockey League Hall of Famer. Played for the Medicine Tigers, where I grew up playing. And wow, he put one right over my glove hand to remind me of watching him when I was 8, 9, and 10 years old. And there's Lanny right there with the leaf on. But this is my favorite of all time. This sealed the deal for the Cup. Only team to win, road team, win the Cup of Montreal, the Calgary Flames. High glove on Waugh. Doesn't get any better than that.
1989. Yeah, that previous one, Lanny McDonald putting out the Islanders in 78. Long shot in that Mrazek deflects. Smith left it in the corner. Martinuk unable to center it. Abdelkader sent it around this way for Zetterberg. Long stretch pass. Smith to Abdelkader. Cuts back on Ekman-Larsson. And forced wide enough. Couldn't get a clean attempt on goal. Datsuk helped kick it back and deflected on a Kaiser attempt. Just jammed to center by Arizona. Knocked out the Cody's line as Datsuk and Abdelkader collided. And the big head of that Coyote at center ice. Tipped through and hope they're okay. Chopped ahead by DeKaiser, but not out of the zone. Here's Bottker. Backhand shot saved by Mrazek. Grossman for Vermette. Off the dasher, knocked it down. Back to Nicholas Grossman again for Mikhail Bottker. Bottker turning back at the line. Good play just to keep it in. Bottker has it. Back to the point it comes for Stone. Glance off a Red Wing stick and up and out of play. Face-off coming up to the left of Peter Mrazek.
Arizona, if you're talking Coyotes, you're used to seeing Smith in that. Well, Dominguez here, the young goaltender from the Quebec League, has looked solid tonight, 7-0-2. Red Wings haven't seen much of him, but wow, has he been solid. There's a reason why. He's sporting a .932 save percentage, unreal. Real solid on the rebounds as well, covering up, not giving the Red Wings very many second opportunities. He's a big kid, 6'3", 210, solid body, but that's exactly what he's done on that right there through traffic. He's just not giving the Red Wings, who only have 18 shots on net at this point, any second opportunities.
Those are our Ram Guts glory plays of the game. 19th career game for Louis Domingue. Picked up by Anthony Duclair. Point shot, knocked down in front of Mrazek. Tatar. Knocked away by Duclair. Dahlback. Forced to the corner by Conwall. Tatar gave Duclair a shove. Picked up by Max Domi to the line. Brendan Smith knocked it down. Domi, who ended that 15-game goal slump in fine fashion with the hat trick the other night. Duclair sends it in. The Coyotes will have to backtrack and tag up. And as mentioned, the only Coyote going to the All-Star game will be the captain, John Scott, voted in by fans. Fan voting started in '86. That may no longer be viable in terms of write-in votes after this season. But John Scott will be going to the All-Star game on a weekend that his wife is expecting twins. Well, that could be quite an eventful weekend in Nashville, one way or the other, for John Scott.
Or he may not be going, and they'd have to add a guy, obviously, Ekman-Larsson. I'd love to see Doan go, though. Still captain, veteran player, 15 goals this year. He's been solid as well for this squad.
But can you imagine what we've seen from Ekman-Larsson and him 3-on-3 and the goals that he scores, either him or...
I'm shocked he's not there, really. And the NHL wants to really show off their young stars. He's one of them. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind he should be there.
You're saying Domi or Ekman-Larsson?
Domi?
No, Max.
Max Domi should be there.
Okay.
Ekman-Larsson. It'd be great to see them.
And you can only take 3 defensemen really per division. So with Burns and Giordano,
it is 3-on-3.
and Doughty, yeah.
And most of these defensemen 3-on-3 are like forwards anyways.
Right.
So it really would make a difference.
Picked up here by Doan, who has the second goal here tonight, his 16th of the season. Nyquist, Abdelkader, shot is blocked. Green a shot, Didn't get through. Was fluttering on him. Content just to shoot it in as Richardson.
Yeah, I think that sums up the first 50 minutes of this hockey game. Abdelkader with a grade A opportunity and just can't get shots through.
Yeah. Attempted pass there for Larkin. Smith centering one. Knocked away as Tatar had moved in. To the corner. Going down heavily is Smith and slow to get up. And there's going to be a penalty coming here. For hooking, you're watching Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire.
Well, with the Red Wings down 2-0 here in Arizona, they're going to get a big opportunity. Vermette with the second penalty of the night, the only 2 penalties Arizona has taken. This power play is 0 for 9 here in the last 5 games. Needs to come up big on their 10th opportunity last 5 games, down 2-0 here. It's a huge point of the game here with just under 10 minutes to go. If they could get a goal here, ride some momentum and hopefully tie the game.
Abdelkader to the right, Zetterberg in the middle, has Nyquist and Datsuk to his left, and Kronwall in behind. Face-off won there by the Coyotes, very good in their own defensive zone, and the best in the league. Boyd Gordon in that regard, 88% coming into the game in defensive zone face-offs, remarkable. And he's won a few more of those tonight. Zetterberg waits back to the line for Kronwall. For Zetterberg. Wanted to go back to Datsuk. And it's cleared by Martinook down the ice. He and Gordon go off in a change. Doan moving up. Stolen by Datsuk, and he's away. Pavel Datsuk into the Coyote zone. Now for Abdelkader. Dropped it to the line to Green. A shot, and Domingue stopped that. Datsuk got it back. Nyquist goes back his way. Now Green on the left side, right shot. Datsuk in the middle. From 45 feet, scores! Pavel Datsuk, wrist shot, power play goal. It's 2-1.
Just prior to this goal by Datsuk, Domingue made a nice save on a screenshot. I don't know how he got his arm on this, but right here, the Red Wings, nice puck movement, nice movement around here, switches off. Datsuk comes up high, but Green just delays enough. Give Datsuk some room, give him some ice. See, nice shot there. Abdelkader once again doing his job right in front of that goal. Screen Domingue just outside the blue. Abdelkader doing a good job to make sure he wasn't back right into him. Domingue couldn't get out. Use that big body, his, and the Red Wings are within a goal here with 8 minutes to go.
I told you they hadn't been shut out.
And that was a much-needed power play goal by this team. Give them some confidence.
46 games now against Arizona, 16 goals and 62 points in 46 games against the Coyotes for Pavel Datsuk. Looked in front of the goal and just over Larkin's stick. That close to being a tie game. Back comes Arizona's Butker. That shot was blocked and a broken stick. The Kaiser without one. He wanted Brad Richards. Richards more or less saying, go to the bench and get one. As he made the play across for Quincy. Now to Larkin, but it's called on the offside. So Pavel Datsuk with his 6th goal of the season, his 2nd on the power play, and his 19th point in this, his 29th game.
Always seems to score here in Arizona as well, and finally found some room here on the power play. Arizona's been hooking, holding, grappling with Pavel Datsuk all night long, frustrating him, and Pavel Datsuk gets the Wings to within one with a C&I shot. Abdelkader, great job in front of that, as he's done all year, screening the goaltender for Arizona.
Darren Helm with Glendening and Yurko. So everything's been juggled up here tonight from when it started. Here comes Domi. Domi up with Declare, took a shot, but Eriksson got in front of it. Eriksson just got out of the way of a hit from Hansel. Red Wings have 4 of them skating up ice now. Yurko, along with Glendening. Puck back of the net. Helm. Yurko. Yurko turning. Check. Hooked. And that was late. But the Red Wings are going to get a power play here. Seemed to be a bit of a delay in that orange armband going in the air.
Yeah, there's been a couple of those, and Leclerc here gets a stick up underneath the armpit of Yurko. Just enough. Tugs him just enough, and Yurko goes down to one knee.
I think considering half this building here in Gila River Arena is red and white for the Wings, maybe help that one a little bit.
Canon Shane Doan is just berating the referee down here at ice level, saying that Bull should have went on that.
I don't know how much he'll understand him, but his English is pretty good. The Russian referee, Doan with that.
Sometimes that's a good
stare.
thing.
Yeah. Doan giving him the death stare right there. So the Red Wings on a Bell Tire power play that has its only goal tonight. Zetterberg couldn't get through, and Arizona will clear.
And power plays are always hot and cold, and when you get one, you tend to get more. Hopefully here the Red Wings continue what they did well in that first power play of the third period. They shot the puck, created space for Datsuk up high, who made good on a shot through traffic. They got to continue in that direction here.
Datsuk looks for Nyquist, who set up Datsuk on his goal, and Kronwall over to get it. Datsuk lost an edge and went down as he tried to knife his way through. Has it back again. Rink wide with it. Zetterberg. Nyquist tipped wide. Dahlback got position on Nyquist. Abdelkader to Green. Another good play to keep it in. A good saucer pass there to Zetterberg. In behind for Nyquist. Swings it around. Near boards for Pavel Datsuk. To the point to Green. Slap shot went off a skate. Datsuk back in front. Oh, what a stop by the Bing! They score! Zetterberg bangs it home. 2-2 tie. 5:40 to play. Power play goal.
This is just a never say die goal by the Red Wings. Converging. Domingue with an absolutely unreal save through traffic. Managed to get a stick. Just couldn't get his catching glove there in time. Give the Red Wings credit. They converged down on this net in a hurry. This happens. Hansel's absolutely exhausted on his penalty kill. Has nothing left in the tank to fight off the Red Wings here. And this is open, but you see Nyquist there. Abdelkader there. And what a goal by Nyquist, who to me has been one of the best Red Wings on the ice tonight. Been tenacious working here, winning 50-50 battles, and here he wins that in front of the net. This is just an unreal first save, but give the Wings credit. And Nyquist, who diving forward, managed to tip this in. Red Wings tied at 2.
So Arizona, in their comeback win down 3-1 against Edmonton, their last home game here, scored 2 power play goals from Max Domi in the third to tie it. And there could be a challenge here as Gus Nyquist has scored the Red Wings' second power play goal, at least for the moment.
Challenging goaltender interference.
So Mike Lego will get a peek at this with Evgeny Ramasco to see their challenging goaltender interference after Domingue was prone on the ice, made the save, and Nyquist just beat Zetterberg to the puck to bang it home. And Dave Tippett using his coach's challenge as they'll look on that 9-inch monitor the referees have. Down the road, that'll likely get bigger. So they'll see what referees want to do here. They've made the call on the ice, and the call was a goal, but now they'll look to see if there's a better call to be made.
I'm sure they're looking for Abdelkader in front. He's been all over Domingue all game long here, and if he gets in the way or not, yeah, sure, he's on top of him, but the puck's in there prior to Abdelkader going down on top. And to me, that's a free puck. That's anybody's puck right there after he makes that initial save. To me, really didn't get in the way of Domingue making a save at all or inhibit his ability to play his position there. And to me, that's a good goal, and if it's not, I'll be surprised.
Remember in the first meeting, Joe Louis Arena, Red Wings won 5-1. Arizona scored an early goal, and Jeff Blashill used the coach's challenge that night on an offside play, and he was right. And the Arizona goal was taken away, and the Red Wings roared to a 5-1 win when the Coyotes thought they had the lead. Let's see what happens here. Mike Lego with the call.
Following video review, the goal on the ice is confirmed. Arizona loses their timeout.
Good goal. Arizona loses the challenge. Gus Nyquist has the goal, his 13th and his 6th on the power play.
Yeah, and good for Gus Nyquist. Abdelkader does a nice job, but this puck is already in the crease. Now, this is a free puck here. Anybody's puck. And Nyquist, great job sliding his stick. Desperate play to get that puck in the net, and Nyquist has played well all game long. Really, he's picked his game up here, challenged by the coaching staff. Hasn't played as much as late on this road trip, and he's won the 50-50 battles there, and that's what that was right there. 50-50 puck won by Gustav Nyquist to tie the game at 2.
Well, we've mentioned the Red Wings have been involved in 27 one-goal games, most in the NHL. 77% of their wins have been by a goal. They're in a position to do so again now, having battled back with 2 power play goals here in the 3rd period, doing just what Arizona did against Edmonton, their last game in this building. Here's a chance back, and a high shot by Butker. Set up by Reeder. Is it a strong game? Grossman kept it in. That was blocked. Breakaway pass. Here's Larkin in. Great diving play by Stone. As Larkin threw it in front. Kronwall over Richard's stick. Stone, another good play there for Tobias Reeder. Reeder across center. A change here for the Coyotes.
Well, Ken, the pace has picked up quite a bit down here. Both teams feel the desperation here the last 5 minutes of this hockey game.
Red Wings completing a 6-game road trip as that hit the curved glass shot from outside the line. So we're all tied at 2, under 5 to play. Great diving play here by Stone on Dylan Larkin.
Pavel Datsyuk, who got things rolling here with the first goal of the hockey game in the 3rd period for the Red Wings, is our big boy. Big play of the game for the Red Wings here on the power play. Hadn't scored a power play goal in 9 opportunities. This is the 10th, and they make good on this here. C&I shot Abdelkader providing the perfect screen in front of the big goaltender, Domingue, to give the Red Wings some momentum. Since then, they've tied it here at 2.
They did not have a power play goal in 5 of their past 6, and as you said, 9 tries without in 5 games, including tonight. And they come up with 2 big ones in the 3rd period to get it all even. Playing game 6 of this road trip. 4 wins in the first 5. LA stopped the streak last game. Here comes Datsyuk. Datsyuk on the wing, and coming all the way back was Richardson to the line, and it'll be held by Domingue. Pavel Datsyuk with a goal and an assist. Nyquist with a goal and an assist. That last goal, Nyquist from Datsyuk and Zetterberg at 14:20 after Datsyuk had scored from Nyquist and Green at 10:50. So big game for Gus Nyquist, who scored that goal from center ice on Mike Smith in the first meeting. And it was a big night against Arizona again. Now with 25 points in the season. Nyquist getting to that puck. As Arizona in the 3rd is caught up in the face-off department a little bit, but still an edge to Detroit. Here's Nyquist trying to feed one through to Zetterberg. Chipchura to the line, knocked down by Quincy. Picked up again by Chipchura. Shot just under the blocker, but wide on Mrazek. Push to the point, and a shot tipped. On a good redirect in front by Tikhonov. Tikhonov back there to get it and shovels one back to his defense. Both teams in the midst of changing. Just over 3 to play here in the 3rd. Duclair to the line and a save off McCulloch. Back of the net out front with it is Duclair. Short side. And Mrazek has it. Wasn't sure, but that was close on an attempt by Anthony Duclair.
For sure, that's a dangerous chance. Equally good save. Duclair, really, look at these hands, how quick he is. This is backhand to forehand in a hurry. From the board, still in front of that, Mrazek had to be quick side to side.
Anthony Duclair has a hat trick this season, one of 5 Coyotes with a hat trick already. There's Chris Osgood's perch in there with Tyson Nash. Fox Sports Arizona. The between the benches tonight. And I know you're loving it down there, aren't you?
I love it. I feel like I'm playing again. This is as close as I'll get.
Except for in Denver for the alumni game, okay?
You keep pushing me, Ken. You keep pushing me.
Glendening was hit. McCulloch. Up there is Sheahan. Then Max Domi gets checked. Glendening. Larkin. A little slash and a shove, and Hansel didn't like it. Fired deep by Dahlback. Hansel again working on Larkin. Glendening trying to get away from Domi. Across center and gets it down ice. 2.5 to go in the third period. Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Got another goal tonight. That pass off the skate of Reeder. Connor Murphy. To Vermette. Vermette, who won a Stanley Cup with Chicago. He was dealt to the Hawks last February, then returned as a free agent to Arizona. Reeder gets checked. Pushed in back of the net. Datsuk. Held by Mrazek. Face off to the right of the goaltender.
I think Glendening's going to come out and take this draw. Jeff Blashill sending him out there here from the bench, had a conversation before he sends him out. This is a big draw with just over 2 minutes left in this period. He's trusting his young center to win this against a very good centerman himself at winning draws. Vermette.
As you can see, the Coyotes now even in the face-off department after a wide edge after 2 for Detroit. There's a shot over top of the net with a big screen in front of Mrazek. Brendan Smith safely off the glass for Abdelkader. Glendening. Long shot in that Domingue will be forced to hold, so the Red Wings will get a face-off in Arizona territory.
And that's a good play by Glendening. He was just out there previous shift, took a little bit of a break, went out to win a big draw, did lose to Vermette, but went down realizing, well, I got to get off the ice, I'm exhausted, gets a shot on net instead of dumps it in, and what that creates is a face-off opportunity in the offensive zone for the Red Wings here. They can win that, maybe get an opportunity to go ahead in this hockey game here.
Red Wings won't get back to Detroit till about 4:30 in the morning. They'll play 3 of their next 5 at home prior to the All-Star break. Our next game on Fox Sports Detroit won't come to you until a week from tomorrow at Buffalo. Picked up here by Kronwall. Ahead for Abdelkader. Across center and in as Zetterberg goes after it there with Grossman. Chipped out by Martinez. Abdelkader's got it. Coyotes are changing. Abdelkader. Murphy forced them wide. Abdelkader at great strength in front. Good stick in the lane there by Arizona to knock it away. Tap back in by Larkin. Out there with Datsuk. Now Sheahan comes on for Abdelkader. Puck to an open wing. Quincy moves in. Beat Ekman-Larsson to it. Datsuk tapped around for Larkin. 35 to go in the third. Losing an edge and going down with Sheahan. Antoine Vermette. Stepping up at center was to Kaiser. On Bodker with help from Helm. There's the Red Wings in their own zone with 15 to go in the third. Helm coming in. Taken away Martinez, the rookie. Dave Tippett has great faith in him as Coyotes just clear it, and we are going to overtime. The Red Wings get a point at least out of this one with a big third period. As the Red Wings now with 9 points of a possible 12 on this trip and looking for 10 here in overtime. 3-on-3 hockey coming up in a 2-2 tie from Arizona.
Nyquist with the tying goal here. Off a scramble is a Nissan drive of the night here, and this is a great goal by the Red Wings. Just converging from the Arizona net, tying this hockey game, and Nyquist has been so good in everything his game has brought to the table tonight, winning 50-50 battles, moving his feet more than he has in the last couple of games, and getting rewarded for it with the tying goal. And
updated standings now as the Red Wings pick up a point, as they have now got 52. So they should have 52 points now, not 51, as they pick up on Montreal and gain one on Florida. So, overtime. Arizona 5-3 in the 3-on-3 session. The Red Wings 6-5. Arizona going to their second straight overtime game. And look out for the guy with the puck now who won it here against Edmonton, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, who drops it back for Bodker. The Red Wings start Datsuk and Larkin and DeKeyser. That's Brad Richardson. Back to the line it comes for Ekman-Larsson. Richardson. Checked there by Larkin. DeKeyser to center. He's got Zetterberg with him. Red Wings changing. Zetterberg alone. Now he's got some help. Back to the line for Abdelkader. Abdelkader's got it. Working in on Reeder. Right to the goal. Hit the goal post. Oh, he rattled the right iron. Back to the line it comes. Abdelkader broken stick. Has to go to the bench and get another. That allowed Vermette to bring it in. Abdelkader getting back. Vermette to Reeder. Good save by Mrazek. He got the blocker on that. Puck to the corner. Vermette played one back to the line, but went all the way back into his own zone. And Domingue will tee it up. Ekman-Larsson's got it. He's used to playing lots of minutes every night. Here comes Max Domi. Back in front. And a great save by Mrazek on Hansel from point-blank range.
Well, before that great opportunity, the Red Wings had one of their own. Abdelkader with a nice quick 3 steps, uses his power, his strength to get around. Chinks that right off the close post. Now this is Aldomi. Wow, what a play by the youngster here. Goes to the outside, finds Mrazek. This is just flubbed on just enough into the stomach. Hansel couldn't get anything on that shot, but Domi showing why he's one of the best young players and up for the Rookie of the Year in the National Hockey League with that move.
Remember when it seemed like the Red Wings were going to overtime or a shootout every game? It's been 13 since the Red Wings have been involved in an extra session.
1-goal games, and I even count last game against the Kings. It was an empty netter. That was a 1-goal game in my books. It's incredible this season. Each and every game is right down to the wire. It's playoff type hockey. The parity is unreal in this league right now.
Well, since Christmas, the Red Wings are 5-0 in 1-goal games. This will be officially their 28th 1-goal game to lead the league. And overall so far, 17-3-7 in 1-goal games. 77% of their wins by a goal. Pavel Datsuk, goal and an assist tonight. Dylan Larkin. Larkin with a great move, right to the goal! And he just couldn't finish it, rolled off his stick. Larkin again, still with it. What a pass back, scores! DeKeyser! What a feed from Larkin! And the Red Wings pour off the bench. They win it 3-2. 5 of 6 victories on the road trip.
Incredible road trip to come away with 10 of a possible 12. And in no better fashion, this game losing 2-0 in the third period. Great comeback. Showing poise once again with this overtime victory. And Dylan Larkin, just an incredible one-man show here in overtime. Multiple moves earlier, loses the puck off his stick, then comes around again. Puck just follows this kid around every night he's on the ice in the National Hockey League and makes a great feed to Kaiser with an unbelievable shot. Comes in, just loses it off the stick, but he has to put in some mind. Hey, I'm not stopping there, folks. I'm coming back at you. Nice little backhand pass to Kaiser with a perfect shot. And if Mr. DeKeyser's up right now late in Michigan, your son just won the hockey game.
Mickey never misses a game. You know he is.
He's got to be, and this is one of Danny DeKeyser's best goals. And Larkin, look at him get his head up in the corner there, Kim. Unreal. And a little backhand chip pass across, and that's just a perfect shot by DeKeyser. But Larkin, wow, no quitting that kid.
Danny DeKeyser scored in the first meeting against Arizona. And DeKeyser scores again against the Coyotes. And it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. What a Miller moment. And as you say, Dylan Larkin, never give up, and that's why another plus for him. And he's at the top of the National Hockey League with Toffoli in that regard for plays just like that. As great as Louis Domingue's catching hand is, Danny DeKeyser. What a shot, what a setup, what a win. Down 2-0 after two power play goals much needed in the third, and the Red Wings win it by a count of 3-2. Red Wings Live postgame begins immediately following this short